Hello, everybody. I'm gonna try to speak loud so you can hear me. My mic sucks on my iPad. Okay. All right. Well, as you can see, got my hovabator. It says fan installed. This is from Incubator Warehouse, as you can see. Okay. What they did, I think they discontinued this 1602. They're getting away from the models with the wafer and going to the digital. Everybody wants digital. They got the IncuView now, where the whole top's glass. I personally like this incubator. So I had one of the cheap Chinese ones, 24 YZ24. It's got the turning trays, does everything. It actually works pretty good. It's just so small. It fits 24 eggs. You can't put any duck eggs in them; they won't fit unless you just lay them in the bottom. So I ordered one of these I guess about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And when it came, it was supposed to have been a store sold item that was returned and had been tested and really not been used much and all that. When I got it, it was brand new. So I ordered another one. And it came today, and we're going to open it. So give me a second. I'm going to show you what you get from Incubator Warehouse. If they tell you they're selling you, it was on eBay. This item with the fan installed, you should expect to pay $115 to your door. 110 if you get a really good deal. 120 is normal. That's no turner, just the incubator with the fan installed. If you buy it separate, you're going to pay about 65, 70 shipped to your house, and the fan separate will be 25 or 30, and then you got to install it. This comes already put together by them, so I don't get to blame if it's wrong. And let me take this apart now. Get out of here, boss. Okay, I'm going to show you. This is supposed to be used. It comes just like it would if it never been used. It comes with the. I'm just going to lay it here. Here's the screen. This is the newer model, so it's got the plastic screen. I like the plastic screen. The metal woven wire, the woven cloth, it's okay, but I like this better because the metal cloth tries to bend up. It's hard to get it straight. That just lays nice flat. Here's your water tray. If there ever been anything hatched in it, it'd be dirty. Here's the inside. And the way they make these, they stack the top inside the bottom. It just fits really perfect. You have to pull it up. I just grab the cord real easy. Try to do this without falling out. Just grab the cord real easy. It'll start out. Once it pops out, put your fingers between it, and you lift the top out. Here's the top. Now the top, I'm going to show you. My last one still had plastic film on it. Let's see if this does. Okay, well, here's the top. There's the wafer still needs installed in here, but it's got the fan installed, and it says Incubator Warehouse. And this one's still got, no, it doesn't have the film over the glass. Someone's took the film over the glass. This may be a return, but maybe someone bought it and wanted the newer model, and they took it apart and looked at it. There's even a little mark right here, a marker mark. So maybe, that's what it looks like. Maybe they did install it or something and then return it. I don't know. But the only thing I can see in it's a couple little hairs from I don't know what it's from. It doesn't look like it was ever used. The elements usually start looking a little different from being used. It don't look like that. It's just, if it's been used, it hasn't been used much. It said it was a return. The last one, there's no way it had ever been out of the box. I don't know how they packaged it without making a little mark on the styrofoam. But let me show you what you get. On the inside and the bottom is the directions, all the stuff. And you get your thermometer. See? Now, these thermometers, you have to check them. If you try to hatch eggs without checking them, you're going to be sorry. So what I do, I take like a container like this, and I try to get the water about somewhere 102, 103 degrees, and I let it start falling, and I start checking it. So I'm going to heat up the water a little bit. Okay. Somewhere above lukewarm is what you're looking for. And the way we're going to check it is with one of these. My temperature generally runs about 98 on the money. Okay, we usually check it twice because this was cold, but hold it way back in your tongue. Okay, it's running 97, so I'm going to check it one more time. Okay. Okay, so 97.9. 97.9, actually the last few times I've had it checked at doctor was 97.9. It's not a perfect check, but if you're pretty close here with your body temperature, you know this thing's not off. Now if it's off a degree or two, it needs a new battery. You know, keep some batteries around. I went to Ollie's a while back. I don't know if you know what an Ollie's is, but they're like a Big Lots, like an overstock store. All these batteries was $1.99. See, I've used two of them. What I did, I was setting thermometers like this. Got the upper end wet. I started reading wrong. I had to change the battery. When the battery gets wet, it like sucks power out of it because it's shorting out through the water. And even when it was off, it was draining the battery. So I just put a new battery in it. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to get this water before we even worry about what this is. We'll put this here and stir the water around this thermometer. But we're going to try to get this somewhere around 102 or 103. And then as it falls, we'll keep checking the thermometer to see how accurate it is. So we've got a good stir going on here now. Stirring the water. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to turn this around. Now this says 98.2, so I didn't get the water up high as I wanted. But, and you can see that's reading about 98, no under 98. It hasn't come up all the way, I'm thinking. But let me check it again. Because it was, okay. I'm going to hold that down in there, see what this thing comes out at. Okay, now this is saying that our water is about 98 degrees, and you can see it, 98 degrees. And let's see what this is. Every graduation mark on that's 2 degrees. So it's reading just a hair low. Just a hair low. Let's make sure this came up. These don't act as quick sometimes as the digital. But it's under 98. I would call that 97.7 because each mark is 2 degrees. So there's 100, there's 98, there's 96. 97 is going to be halfway, about 97.5 maybe. So I'm thinking we're about a half a degree off. So let's keep stirring this, and we're going to check it again. We want to keep this big gauge as far down the water, a good ways down the water, because the whole thing's going to be in your incubator. Okay, we're at 97.7. 97.7, and this is reading, yeah, it's actually reading above 97, 96, 98, 100, and it's under 98. So I think this thing's pretty well on. But what I would do if this wasn't on, loosen up these little wires just enough to allow this to slide down. I put white or clear silicone under here. Make sure it's not caulk. Silicone that sets up hard. Now I get that to where I'm happy with it, and I'll set that somewhere, let it set up. And I like these gauges because they got the wide mercury, easy to read. When they're wide like that, they move up and down a little quicker, get on the temperature quicker. And then this is plastic, but also this part's plastic. A lot of times this is paper. On a Little Giant or Miller Manufacturing, theirs has the small mercury, which moves slower, and then this is paper. So getting them right in water is kind of, it's hard on the paper. It works, but okay. Well, that's how I set my thermometers. A lot of times I'll check it with two. I'll have a 9-second one like this one, then I'll have a 60-second one. I've got one of those, and I'll check my thermometers with each other, and I'll make sure I'm happy with the temperature. Then I'll just go with the 9-second one, and then what I normally do is get this water up to about 106 degrees, and I'll watch the temperature fall. I know, try to get it on at 106, try to get it on at 104, but I know where it's exactly on, and where I want it exactly on is 100 degrees. Now, because I'm videoing, it's a little harder for me to do that, but you get the idea how I do it. It's pretty easy. Just I like a big container, something I can get this in and out of, but leaves a little bit of room for the water to go beside. This here, there's enough room, probably a half-inch on each side once it's in there for the water to go, and you work it back and forth so the water gets turned. You don't touch the bottom, you allow the water to move, and that way you get your water all the same temperature. You keep moving it, you keep checking it with this. As soon as this thing beeps, you look at it and you look at your thermometer. Now this thing adjusts really quickly. That's why I like it, but you have to check it a little quicker too. Like right now it's reading 73, 74 degrees. Drop it in there, and within a minute or so you can check your temperature. The one that comes with the Miller has a smaller, the inside of the tube, the hollow spot's smaller. As you can see, we're up to 95 right now, and it's still climbing. We'll pull it up out, and we'll watch it drop. And we're down to 94, 94 and a half, 93, 93 and a half, 92. As you can see, I've read these enough to kind of get an idea where I'm at. You'll learn that too. Another thing, if you set it and you get it, and then when you check it, if you happen to notice that your red maybe just barely touches the 100 and it's on 100 exactly, then just make a mental note of that, or keep a note of that, so you know that if it's up into the black of that 100, it might be 100.2 or something. Another thing I could do, since I've decided this is close enough, anytime I want to look back at it, make sure it's right. The marks from the factory are on 100 on this one, and it looks like 68. So all I have to do is write a note on it, or number this one, and know where them marks should be. But the last one I got was way off. And it had the marks. They set it, but they didn't set it with. I guess they didn't set it with a temperature. I don't know. I don't know how they did it. I don't know if they set this in 68 degrees to mark it, and set it in 100 degrees to mark it, and put it on here. And I don't know how they did it. But this one turned out, it's close enough. I'm not going to worry about it. As long as I don't get above 102, the accuracy of this, I'm going to be happy with. Now, when you get to 102, you better have a perfect temperature, because once you get above 102, you start cooking your egg. And it won't tolerate much of that, and your hatch rate's going to drop. So keep it between 99 and 101. 101's fine. If that's the highest it ever goes, and it fluctuates, goes down to 99, not down to 99.5, I would say your hatch rate's going to be really high. The magic number's 99.5 with the fan operated model. I love these models. This thing here, this wafer. It's fantastic. These things are really, really sensitive. They're dependable, and whenever you get a chance, you should probably pick up an extra one, because I guess they go bad. But I don't do a lot of incubating. I just got the second one so that I could have a separate one for lockdown, because I'll get eggs in there with different dates sometimes. I'll go to my son's house, and he'll have 5 or 6 eggs that he knows are good eggs. They're the kind of chickens we like. I've got some duck eggs right now. They're a different time. So I just put them all in the same incubator. If you got duck eggs in there, keep it above 60, even with the chicken eggs in there. If you don't, keep it between 50 to 60 on the percentage of your moisture, humidity. And I hope you like this video. I'm not the best at making videos, but I'm learning. But I do want to give a shout out to Incubator Warehouse. I ordered this Friday on eBay. I made them an offer of like $45 or something, plus like $15.09 shipping. I paid $59.90 for this. The other one I paid like $60.90. They took a $46 offer on the one. They took a $46 offer plus shipping. They put $45 offering, best offer for this one. I would have never took that if I was them. I would have held out. There's nothing wrong with this. Um, Personally, I think they overstocked. Do want to point out one more thing. Something I haven't noticed on the other videos. Something you might not know when you first get these. You open up your incubator. This is the bottom. You'll see this hole right here. Move my hand over the back of it here, but see right there, and there. There's one, and there, and they go all the way around it. I think there's 12, 12. There's 12. Okay. Okay, that lets the air in. So this is rounded just barely, so it shouldn't be a problem if you set it on the table. It should, but if you set it on like a towel, you could stop the air from going up through it. It's very important for the air to get in. The way they've got this figured out, you look at it and you're like, well, this should do this. Just trust them. They got this thing right. Let the air, make sure these are not nothing over them like a cloth or a tablecloth or a and you can see my hand on the other side. You want these open, and you sometimes you might have to take like a something small like a toothpick. If something gets in there and kind of open them up, like I don't know, maybe a piece of straw or something from where the baby chips a shell or maybe some poop or something. Keep them open. Now the top is also ventilated. Sorry about that. The top's also ventilated, and you can see the vent holes are right here. But since there's a fan in there, I wonder how well they work. I don't see how they could work as well, especially this one. The fan's kind of in there crooked. So what you might have to do, you have to figure out what makes yours work. Just like my other one, one of the plugs is missing. I don't know if it should have two plugs or what. What I do, I take these out at first, but the manufacturer recommends them in unless you're real high altitude. I'm at about 1,000 feet, maybe 1,100 feet. So it needs to breathe. I wouldn't recommend making holes, but you can. If you do make a hole and you decide you don't like it, take a hot glue gun. Don't let the gun hit the styrofoam and then squirt that hot glue in the hole and just walk away. Wipe, make it, and it'll get in there and get stuck and it'll plug the hole off pretty good. If you hit the styrofoam with the gun, it'll melt it. Melt the styrofoam. You don't want to melt the styrofoam. Well, these things are only made out of styrofoam. If you take very gentle care of them, like you would a baby, they stay pretty nice. If you don't, they'll crack, they'll break. It doesn't take much. They're really high quality stuff for what the styrofoam's nice because it's insulated, so your components don't wear out. Your thermostat's not gonna wear out as quick. Your fan ain't gonna wear out as quick because it stays the same temperature. Temperature fluctuations can even where it's got to heat all the time. The heat's always on. All that stuff wears out your components. So you want to, a styrofoam incubator is the way to go. They got these plastic ones, but they're not insulated very well. So all your components wear out all the time. You're always putting a thermostat in there or a heating element or whatever. And who wants to do that? I mean, just buy one of these styrofoam ones. Okay, that's about it for that video. I'm gonna be putting some more videos up. Don't forget to hit the like button. Facebook, folks.